Hello everybody, hope all is blessed. You're back for another episode of Will's Way, and today is a special episode. We're not cooped up in the office today. I'm actually giving you a tour of my office and a tour of my studio, but also what I want to do is give you some little cheeky tips and insights to how I keep really productive and how environment has a massive impact on our productivity. So come in, this is the office right here, right behind me. Get it? Enter. This is the outside. Beautiful grey colour, and we've got a big door here as well. And I wanted a big window, but this glass actually tinted. I'm not sure if you can see because you can't really see inside so much. But when you're inside, you can see out. So what that does is stops too much sun getting in and it getting like a greenhouse effect in here as well. So yeah, that door was quite expensive, but look how boss it is. And like I said, if you have a look through. And if I close the door here, you can see through this way, and the view is actually beautiful. You've got my daughter in the background there, the trampoline. Here comes little cheeky boy Miley as well. As you can see, I can actually keep an eye on these little buggers as well. Look at them. But yeah, like beautiful scenery there as well. So we're gonna flip the camera up, and we're gonna do. Hey, here we're in. So here is my actual office. So we're going to start off on the back wall and we're going to come around. This is the actual working desk, and as you can see, I've got dual screen monitors here. This is so handy as well for my computer, you know, especially when I'm doing work, and for example, especially for my engineering business, this is a productivity absolute life hack. Honestly, if you guys if any of you guys work from home and just have one monitor, and you could do with having two different programs open at one time, this can increase your productivity by 20%, which is mad really, just to have an extra monitor as well. I've got the computer linked up here. This is my laptop, work laptop. The great thing about this little laptop as well is it's touchscreen as well, so I can take that to customer sites and I can quickly take it out of the dock, undock it and take it to customer sites and show them presentations on the touch screen as well. But then when I get back to the office, I can plug it in straight into the two screens, which can then, you know, provide me with so much productivity. This chair here, I got this from Amazon, and do you know what? If I'd say, you know, you need to invest in something comfortable, if you know for a fact you're going to be sitting in this chair for a long periods of time, why would you buy something cheap? Like this chair was about £150, but it is the most comfortable computer chair ever, honestly. And when I sit in it, I feel like I'm some sort of racing driver as well. I feel like I'm ready for business, you know what I'm saying, when I'm sitting in here. I love this work area so much. When I'm in here, the environment and the colours as well, which I'll go over in a minute, just makes me feel like I'm at ease. And this is a thing as well about environment, and I think I never really understood how important it was, because when I first started my business, I was working in my studio, and it was the most distracting place ever. And I struggled really to get productive, you know. I did struggle to get into work. I had my obviously my keyboard looking at me, inviting me to play music when I shouldn't have been, and it was just really distracting. Do you know what I mean? So like, what I decided to do, this is actually an extension. This used to be a shed. So in here used to be all my tools and stuff. I moved all of this to the back of the garage, and I'll show you in the studio in a minute. I'll show you how we converted it, because when we first moved into this place, this was just a shed. In there was just a garage with a home studio in, and all of this has been built since. So this is like my little getaway area, productivity area. Organisation is so key, you know what I mean? Before, I used to have all of my stuff really filed unneatly, and it used to be a pain in the bum. Now, as you can see, I've literally got all of my stuff completely, utterly organised into a filing directory. And I've got to shout out my girl, because she helped me do this. And now I can find absolutely everything, and I can file any letters that come to me straight away. So there's no paperwork that goes missing, do you know what I mean? And filing, yeah, it's so important to keep nice and clean. And of course, we've got the printer here for documents and stuff like that, which then we go to the back wall, I chose this brick effect wallpaper as well, and it does actually look real, doesn't it? It doesn't actually seem like it's wallpaper, but it just, I don't know, it just kind of complemented the black. You know what I mean? I love black, you know what I mean? We've got the leather chair, obviously, and we've got the floor as well, which is like a black wood floor. Got that from B&Q, which was, yeah, this is beautiful, isn't it? Like, that vibe is just nice. And if you look at that back wall, we went for like an indigo blue. That blue is quite calming. I read that blues can be really calming, like anything that resembles nature. So, you know, this is why we've got these plants in here as well. You know, these little plants, little nice touches, you know. I've got my crystals in there as well, obviously. You've got to be producing these good energies, man. Yeah, anything that resembles nature has a really good positive effect on our environment. We want to feel calm in here, like we want to work as well. Here is my like mantra desk, right? Here is like, for example, I'll show you where I meditate in the morning. So what I'll do, I'll wake up about 5 o'clock, and I'll sit in my chair this way, facing here. And I'll literally sit, I don't know if I'm going to try to show you. I'll literally sit like this. I'll show you. I'm going to get real descriptive in this. So if you see me, like, I'll actually be cross-legged like this, right? And I'll be facing here. I'll have my face mask on and my headphones on. And I'll do these set guided meditations for around about half an hour to an hour, depending on how much time I've got in the mornings. But that's the first thing I do in the morning. It's probably the most life-changing thing for me that I've ever done. And I'll get into more videos actually about meditation and how I sort of started and how I progressed it and how much this changed my life as well. But that's for another video, man. But I want to show you like how important it is to have a good environment to where you like meditate as well. So my mantra desk, if we switch this camera around, consists of little positive quotes, some crystals as well, of course. Come on, we've got to have the good energies in here. I often think to myself, where would I like to go in the world? Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I spin this and I just go right here. So yeah, Mexico, bro. But no, little touches, man, little nice little things. And here's sort of the start of my library book collection. I've got some bangers here, man. I've got some banging books here. I'd say the book I'm getting into at the minute is this one, The Laws of Human Nature, and that is an absolute beast, man. Look how big this book is. I've actually read about half of that, but still, I've listened to the whole audiobook, but I've not got through the whole thing yet. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza, incredible book for meditation. That's one I've been definitely looking into. Calm, which is a good little book actually, just gives you sort of little tips to how to stay calm and stuff like this. So as you can see, I've been very much into mindfulness and meditation. How to Quiet Your Mind, Life Leverage by Rob Moore. That's a brilliant book if you're busy and you're looking to sort of leverage on your businesses. Obviously The Secret, Say No More, people know about that one. The Richest Man of Babylon as well. This is such an underrated book, man. This taught me about investments and savings, and it gives you the most potent story that you'll always remember. And ever since I read that book, it changed me in a mad way. And of course, the classic, Think and Grow Rich. Come on, this is like the all-time classic, life-changing book. And The Science of Getting Rich as well. As you can see, I'm very much into trying to understand how to become wealthy. Which of course, man, we're all bloody we're all entitled to that wealth. We just need to find out how to get it, you know what I'm saying? So as you can see here as well, I've got these quotes like, you know, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. And I've got other quotes in here as well, just like things that remind me really, you know what I mean? Like really good quotes like, a mind is a parachute, it doesn't work if it's not open. I love that saying. Find a good reason to be happy. Like that's a brilliant quote as well. It's never too late to be what you might have been. And like that's a powerful one, man, to think like, oh my god, like am I missing out on being something? Like as well, life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. I love that saying. That saying is life, because it's true. You know, it's our reactions to anything that happens that create to where we go, you know. And as well, the only way to have a friend is to be one. And that's a saying that I definitely need to work on more, 100%. I used to complain I didn't have any friends, but was I being one? Possibly not. So, you know, little insightful quotes I put on the wall as well, just to help me sometimes. Other side, we've just got a clock, man. We need to know the time, man. You know what I'm saying? To make sure we're on time and we're in progress. Also, I've got this cool little lamp as well. That was from IKEA. I love this lamp. It's like a warm white vibe, do you know what I mean? So sometimes in here, because I've got the cool white spotlights, it can feel a little bit cold, but when I put this on, it creates a different sort of summery desert vibe, you know what I'm saying? So that's a really nice little touch as well to the studio. As well, if you guys haven't got one of these, I'd recommend one. It's like a little air purifier. literally I put that on. There's oils you can get as well, just to feed in there, and it'll pump out nice scents and some good oils. Man, it helps, you know, when you're working in the morning, you want to be productive, you know, honestly. Like, people may think, oh, it's a bit too much what you're doing, like all these little things, but I'm telling you, if you want to get the best out of yourself when you're working, like, end of the day, man, we've got about, what, every single day we've got about 12 hours, do you know what I'm saying, awake, and you may be awake for more, but that's not a lot of time to get stuff done, especially if you've got kids, especially if you've got like a business to run, especially if you've got like processes to do. You've got to keep active in that time as well, maybe go gym, maybe, like, you know, you got to make sure you're eating right as well. So like, there's a lot to do in the day, you know what I mean? So within them hours, like, if you can create your productivity to the highest point possible, that's when you start to win. And this is what I'm about now. I'm about trying to get to these techniques in terms of like setting up a good environment to get the best out of me, you know what I'm saying? So that takes us round to the board, man, and this here is a game changer as well. If you guys have got an office and you haven't got one of these up on the wall, I suggest you get one, man. It helps me massively, because basically the door's here. Every time I walk in, I know exactly what I need to do, and it also gives me a reminder. Yeah. Generally, I take 3 goals. Okay, only 3 though. To do per day. So I've obviously got my maintain, which is my condition monitoring engineering business, and I have 3 goals that I need to complete by the end of the day. What I'll do, for example, when I've completed them, is just wipe them off, but I'll keep the 1, 2, 3 on there, and then the next day I'll then put the new fresh goals in the morning in terms of what I need to do from my weekly goals that I've got in my planner. Okay, so these are important for me, because what it does, it allows me, I mean, 3 goals per day per subject doesn't seem a lot, okay, but if you complete these 3 goals over the whole week, okay, say there's 5 days a week, there's 15 things you've done, okay, per obviously thing. So 15 for maintain, 15 for my music, you know what I mean? That's 30 tasks done, completed per week, right? That over a whole month, 120 tasks done. And if each task is an important one for the day, 120 tasks completed over the whole month, I tell you, it's going to start getting you somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So this is like my reminder in terms of trying to get things done, and this is a game changer. It's so simple as well. You know, you can do this with anything really. You don't really need a board, but it's nice to have one up so you can sort of see what you're doing. It can, you know, it's nice to have one up so you can see where you're doing and where you're going with your goals. And at the end of the day, if you reach the end of the day and these are still on there, you know, you haven't done your job and you're not going to feel good, you know. And 3 is easy to complete. Like, a lot of people put like 10 different goals on, then complain when they haven't got them all done and they feel deflated. But when you've got 3 done, you feel like you've accomplished something. So to the right, I've got my daily actions as well. And these are just reminders really. This stays on here forever. So these will obviously change every single day. And these will stay on. So my daily actions, 1, to meditate. 2, in my meditation, I want to keep grateful, so I practice more gratitude. 3, manifestation, so I'll do creative visualization in my meditation. 4, auto-suggestion, so my auto-suggestion book as well. I've actually done this on one of my law of attraction videos. I'll link that below. And I actually tell you how to do this, which is an incredible way to actually start, you know, getting some dreams and stuff. It reminds me like where I'm going, and what it does is subconsciously impresses like something really special inside of you, that it's like manifestation to a degree. So like all of these little techniques I do and I use like massively have an impact in terms of where I go in the future. Do you know what I mean? So if we turn around, they're my daily actions, and then below that is why. You know, every single, you know, thing we do needs to have a reason, if you know what I'm saying. So my dreams, my kids, my purpose, my legacy, it just reminds me really why I do what I do, why I need to complete these goals as well. So that is my shall we, not really vision board, but my goals checkerboard, that I like to call it. And as well, I've got a few posts, you know, little few quotes just dotted around the room, just, you know, to subconsciously impress what I'm doing. So guys, this has been the office. I hope you like it. it's small, but it's effective, you know, and it's got everything I need. And of course, it wouldn't be right not to show the coffee machine. This coffee machine is a lifesaver. And come on, man, we got the lattes, man. We've got everything stocked up. And you know, sometimes, you know, in the morning after I've done my meditation, I'll treat myself to a coffee. But I won't overindulge too much, man. We don't need too much caffeine, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, nice little touch for the studio as well. Sometimes when I've got people in here for meetings or whatever, we'll have a coffee, or if we're in the studio as well, we'll have a coffee as well. So, guys, that has been my office. We're gonna move now into the studio. So, moving in, as you can see, here it is, man. Here's the studio. This is my, like, passion place, shall I say. So if we move to the back wall, I'll show you a couple of the wall pictures we've got on. Obviously, when we walk straight in, we wanna be impressed big time. So dream big, man. That's like that saying. I love this saying. Prints were from Decenio. And Kylie got a couple of free prints as well. And I said, right, can I use a couple for the studio? And I see these two prints would just match perfectly on the back wall. I wanted something, you know, quite outstanding, you know, something that you're going to see. And every time you walk in here, it just gives you a little reminder, a little subconscious reminder to dream big. And of course, a microphone as well, which is, the touch is beautiful. On the back door here, see my shed that used to be in here got all converted into that room there. So that behind there is like a shed, and this before was actually literally just garage. So all of these walls have been built up and insulated as well, and before that it was just literally brick walls all the way through. So this is actually a synthetic wall that has been put in the meantime. So here as well, I just got a nice little quote. This quote here is a Jim Rohn quote, and to be honest, when I first heard it, it just stuck with me forever. I just thought I had to put it up on one of these little boards. But you can have more than you've got by becoming more than you are. And what a beautiful saying that is. And of course, I've got my numerology tags up there for all my EPs as well. And yeah, it's just a beautiful saying. Another thing that also just keeps me inspired when I'm working in the studio. Back around to the back of the room, we've got this chair. So when I've got studio clients in here, you know, I work with a lot of artists around the city, and I've had the pleasure of mixing and mastering a lot of really talented people. So when they come over, this is where they sort of sit whilst I'm mixing and mastering, or you know, in the booth when they're spitting their bars, bro. Come on. So obviously in the back here we've got a studio foam. So I've actually situated my studio foam in strategic areas, so the acoustics in the room are really good. So what we're trying to do is when we're playing from the speakers is get a really good sound depending on where the sound energy go and how it bounces off walls in terms of its acoustics. So like what we're trying to do here is minimize the impact of reverbs and any echoes in the room. As you could probably hear, it's quite dead sound in here, and it's to do with the acoustic foams that really suck up the sound rather than it bouncing against the wall and bouncing back again. So obviously I've got my two beautiful children up the top. Ava Lily, when she was little, Kylie got that photo for me. I think it was for one of my Christmas presents, you know. But look how cute she is there with her headphones on. And we had to reenact it with my boy Marley. And when the new baby comes, he'll be in the middle. But we can't do that quite yet. But look at little Marley there as well. But these are great little pictures as well, because they're like my inspiration, you know. Like every time I look around, I'm just like, oh, you know what, I'm doing this for them. You know what I mean? And it's just a beautiful touch as well. So moving back round, here is the booth area. So if you have a look, here's a wall here that separates obviously the desk to the booth. So the moment I've got my mic set up here because I've been doing podcasts and stuff with the arm. So when I'm doing a podcast, I'll be sitting down and chatting, because you can be chatting for about half an hour sometimes. But when I'm actually like recording music, what I'll do is put it in here. So we'll turn the light on here properly so we can get a bit of a better representation of what we've got in here. Here is like a light as well. So here, if you have a look, I've actually got LED lights on in here as well. So when we turn them on, we can actually turn the colour depending on the vibe we want in here, which is a game changer, man. So when I turn all the lights off, I show you like how nice it can be. So like all depending on what vibe we want. Like sometimes I'll sit in here and it will just be dark like this with the lights on, depending on my mood. You know what I mean? So it just can create different moods for you, man. I love this sort of strobe effect. It's quite calming as well when you're making music. But generally I sometimes have white as well, just like that. And in the booth area as well, which is a cool touch, we can change this light as well. And we can change the colour of it, like whatever we want as well, which is which is proper sick. So I generally, what I'll do is have like a purple vibe. I love the purple vibe. So yeah, we can change the color in the booth as well. So depending on the preference of the artist, we can actually change the mood, you know, that's what we do here. So here we'll have the microphone set up here usually, and then in here it's a completely dead sound. As you can see, all of the studio foam is completely laid up in here, so the sound is so dead, and that's what we want to do. We want to try to minimize any reverbs going into that mic. We really want a dead sound when we're in this booth area, so we can get a true sound. And we've got the Yamaha headphones as well. Incredible headphones. I love these headphones. Really good for noise cancelling as well. So that's what we use in the booth. If you come back round here, as you can see, the sound actually changed when I come back round. But to match my other headphones, we've got the Yamaha HS7s as well. These are beautiful speakers. Anyone who's got these will know that they're incredibly good at what they do in terms of reference sound and getting a good sound. We're recording on Mac, and the software I use is actually Logic Pro. So this software, for me, is the go-to software for all my recording in terms of recording my podcasts, recording all my music that I do. I've probably been on this program for a good 10 years, so I'm really clued up about it. I'm pretty much self-taught within this program, but the power of it, all of my music is that you hear that's out there, all my EPs and everything has been mixed and mastered with this in this studio on that microphone as well. And the microphone I'm using at the moment is an Aston Origin, which are incredible microphones. They're around about £200, and I'd say for the price they're probably the best microphone you can get in terms of like value and having high quality studio sound. And I'll be honest, a lot of reviews say that they can't really find much difference between something like this and something that costs about £1,000. A lot of the AKG mics have been sort of reference to even these Aston Origins, which is incredible for the price. So if you guys are looking to record and looking at, you know, something that's going to give you that real good mid-range and them lower tones, the Aston Origin is an incredible mic to do it with. Yeah, go check them out if you're looking for any microphones. In terms of interface, we're using a Focusrite Sapphire Pro 26. This is a Firewire edition. The reason I did that because I didn't want to use too much bandwidth up using too many USB slots. So this is actually plugged in via Firewire. As you can see, it's got 26 outputs and about 8 inputs as well. So to be honest, we only really use ever one in terms of the microphone, but sometimes we do have setups where we've got guitars in here and we've got line ends as well. So incredible interface as well. MIDI keyboard, we've got the MPK Akai 249. This is an absolute beast. It's got the beat pad and the keys. This is such a great way of integrating two things. I hated having a separate beat pad really. It was a bit cluttered when I had too much on here. This actually creates an element where you can keep one unit and then you can just do everything on one unit. What an incredible MIDI keyboard it is. I love it. It's got different presets as well. So this can be set up for like Logic, can be set up for Fruity Loops, just by literally a press of a button, and you can just start to select through the different programs you want, depending on what software you got. So yeah, it's literally got loads of different settings, Pro Tools, it's got Cubase, any software digital interface it'll have on here, and you can actually then have presets for every program you do, which is handy because I've got Fruity Loops as well, and what I can do is actually switch that between the two. As well, I've got a Akai Professional Fire, which is purely Fruity Loops hardware. As you can see, if you're a Fruity Loops producer, you'll understand the beat synthesizer on there, and it's just a really good way of actually punching your beats in rather than doing it on the interface. And it's really good for creating beats and creating melodies as well. So yeah, guys, there's the little tour of my studio equipment and the software I use as well. So guys, I think we've done. I think I've shown you everything that I can possibly show you in my studio, my office. And this back area is like my refuge, it's like my place that I go to A, earn a lot of money, and B, produce my passion in terms of beats and produce my podcasts and stuff like that. So guys, thank you so much for coming with me today. If you do like this content, leave a comment below. Let your man know that you like it. As well, please subscribe if you've not subscribed to the channel. I'm going to do a little bit more content like this as well. It's not all going to be sit-down videos because sometimes it can get a little bit monotonous in terms of just sitting down and talking. I like to be able to get a bit interactive with stuff as well. Yeah, loads of content on its way. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please, of course, stay blessed always. Big up, peace out from Will's Way.
You can never stop my wave, you can never stop my wave, no. Every single day I pray, every single day I pray.